Pop in, say hi. If you've never come into my lives before, I am Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And it is Sunday night, and this is my second live show, Chatters Live. Once every 2 weeks, that Chatters Live, because it is a comfortable, casual kind of evening to kind of unwind from all those grumbles and all those aches and pains of our everyday, day to day, that we can actually just come in, relax, be ourselves, contribute if you want to contribute, pop in, say hi if you want to say hi. If you want to hang out in the background, you're welcome. You're welcome to do that too, right? We try to keep it light on this live. I try really hard not to trigger in some of those topics that I do delve into on my other show. But it's important for me to have a balance in how I show up on these platforms. And I'm very grateful for the people who come in and hang out. And this is one of the gentlemen who have been with me. It's going on a decade, Andrew. I got my YouTube channel in, I do believe, September of 2024. I uploaded my very first video to YouTube in on New Year's Eve. I wanted to do it New Year's Eve so I could technically say it was 2024. So maybe it was 2023. I'm going to have to take a look back because I don't want to be tooting my horn about being 10 years like it's toot my horn. 10 years and here I am. But you know what? I think I'm making a difference in nobody else's life, my very own life. Hello, Kathy. Hello, William. I hope everybody is having an amazing week, that things are going well. I'm sure William wouldn't mind me letting you know that he did get his licensing. He is there was a terminology that he used when he messaged me. But he's going to be a reverend, right, William? He's going to be a reverend, and I'm so excited for him. Like, I would never have thought this of William when I first met him, that these were some of his dreams, these were some of his goals, these are some of his desires for himself, and he made that movement, right? And just kept company with us in all that time, right? And as things manifest in our lives, right? He's become a little bit like me and sharing it, right? In sharing it. You guys, you can see all the Rubbermaid containers behind me, but I have one more rubber container that I picked up at work for $5. I'm going to use this container on my trip. Um, it might be my garage. The top one sitting on top there is my garage this year, but because I have the big bag with all my rock hounding tools, I thought I needed a bigger Rubbermaid container so that I could add that, so it's just not rolling around in the back of the truck, that it's actually stabilized and sitting in a spot that if I'm looking for it, I know exactly where it is. It's in my garage, just like my food is with my grocery bin, and my kitchen is in the kitchen bin. And do I have any more bins? This year I have a bag. I have a big bag that I use for my clothing. It's like one of those big quilt bags. But this year, something came across my work made by Rubbermaid with clear. So I can. That's the thing. That's why I like to use the quilt bags for my clothes when I'm on the road, because I can actually see through the bag for those clothes that I'm looking for. And yeah, so this year it's a little bit different. It's a little bit bigger, but a little bit more durable. And if it works for me, this would be a nice piece to have moving forward when I do hit the road. Thank you. Yeah, this is really quite amazing. This accomplishment that William sent me. He sent me in the messages, you guys. You know, I'm not sure, like if he minds. He usually doesn't mind me sending the pictures. He sent me some pictures of his certificates and stuff. I think it's you know, like when you go for your driver's license and stuff, you have to have a good record of a good driving record for that year. If you get in an accident, then maybe they second guess giving you your driver's license. At least that's how it goes here in Canada. Yeah, so exactly what will be your formal title, William? Oh, and for those of you guys, Andrew popped into my show during the week, so he knows that Father David Lopez popped in last week after he finished the live show. He joined us, but he didn't join us. He sat and watched it at his own leisure because he had some kind of, I think it was like some kind of meditation or something that he was involved in. But he came in afterwards and he wanted me to make sure that I said blessings and hellos to everybody. So I thought that was really nice. A reverend. That's pretty cool. My uncle, who wasn't really my uncle, he was my mother's cousin, but we called him Uncle Ted. And he was a pastor. And he was a Christian, but I think he did different denominations because I remember being in gospel church where it was only black people there, and I remember being in very strict, scary looking churches, you know, those big stone ones, and then I the modern ones. I remember, you know, I've been in lots and lots of different denominations, I think, of Christianity. Even if you think that maybe Jehovah Witnesses, if they were considered Christians, I don't know. Does anybody out there have the answer if the Jehovah Witnesses were Christians, or they don't like to be put into that lot? Because I know also as a child, my mother was a Jehovah Witness too, so we spent a little bit of time in that faith. Oh my goodness, yes, and the Mormons. Yeah, because we lived in Vancouver, so it was almost right across the border, and they used to come up and yeah, I remember them coming to the house, and we'd all sit at the kitchen table, and they'd be divvying out their lessons. I don't know how I got involved in the conversation. Oh, because of William being a reverend. Yeah, it's funny with so much religion going on in my own family and in backgrounds in my own family background that I am not religious that way myself. I understand like the path that I'm moving on is more on the spiritual part, like my father was, right? And I understand that, but I sometimes don't even feel that. And I think it's just because I'm kind of like stuck in the middle, right? Of maybe not just the two of them, right? I feel the stoic in me quite often, right? I love mindset. I love law of attraction. You know, I have an affinity for different traditions and different religious ideas, and I just kind of, right, obviously it's not like Frankenstein that we can, like, this is a bad analogy when you refer when in a religious kind of content, but you can't take this aspect of this religion and this aspect of this religion and this part, though in history it's been done all the time, and form it into a ball and make that a new religion, right? I mean, I guess you probably could, but how hard would it be to get it accurate? How hard would it be not to have, I don't know, that butting head with those other religions out there that are going to say, "You stole that from us. You got that from us," right? Like how closely Christianity and the Muslim religion is. if I don't know if you guys study different religions and stuff like that, like a lot of the workings, the thinkings, the mechanics of religions, right? Not just in Muslim and Christianity, but in so many that they're almost exactly the same, except they give them different names, different terminology, sometimes not even different meanings, sometimes exact same meanings, right? Just, but it's the same, and from one religion to the next, you just kind of beat on each other, right? And in truth, you understand the exact same thing. It's just like asking Andrew what his title would be, and he said Reverend, and right away I'm thinking pastor, but you're both, right, preaching God and Jesus and putting out that good word. So for me, right, and especially not being separated, like I said, my mother, right, she wasn't particular. As long as there was God and Jesus, she was good without whatever the denomination was. My dad, well, he was another story. He never went to church. He didn't want to talk about God unless it was like the Big Bang, and he was very much, I believe, a spiritual person, but a more stable and acceptable, kind of like moving in his values. And the reason why I picked up so quickly on that mindset, and in that law of attraction, because I felt that affinity to my father and the way he lived his life, the things and he believed, and practices that he had, and I know lots of religions out there and lots of spiritual ideas out there. They promote the meditations and stuff, but it was in that intellectual, uh, um, stoic, that heart based life that he had. That's such a kind, right? He didn't have a mean bone in his body, right? But he wasn't religious. He wasn't, right? He wasn't a religious man. I don't ever remember him being a church, though I did see his wedding pictures that he managed to be in some kind of church when he got married, unless it was a community center or something, because I did see a piano behind him in the picture. I never asked him. It didn't seem like important information at the time. And yet, right, maybe now I don't even think that's important information. Okay, coming down, make sure I don't miss. Thank you, everybody, for coming to hang out. I have kind of a measly staff charge this week. I started my staff charge. I went to work yesterday and I went straight to the fund and I put it back on the shelf because I said this next payday coming up, there is no staff charges. That money is all being applied to my holiday, and it's going to be magnificent. Everything is pretty much online. I have my topics I want to get together. I'm writing topics, but I think some of these topics in here are for that little bit of movement that I'm going to be making when I get back from my holidays. And I wasn't concerned because I knew out on this trip, being with myself, I would be inspired and my creative would puke something up and we would be off and running just like this project, 54 words. But we're not finished with that project. It's only in that phase of that project. Now we're looking at manufacturing. What does Cindy know about manufacturing? Right? And also in that design and in that distribution. And what about the marketing, which is so important in that? And then, more importantly than that, is my desire and ambition and my enthusiasm to get it done, right? In that appreciating that I'm having fun doing what I'm doing. But at the same time, We're making movement still forward. This is a project. This is a side branch, right? Now we're on the road again into the next stage of my evolution. And if you're hanging out with me, it's maybe your evolution too. Okay, you guys, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. He'll message me, or I'll message him later if he doesn't show up. We know on occasion we can't expect. I don't even expect you guys to show up every single week, you guys. As often as you do, I think that's absolutely incredulous that you give me that kind of respect, right? And that you enjoy hanging out with me on Sunday nights, right? That's why I'm here, you guys, right? So you guys feel like you need a night off from Cindy, that you can't handle one more minute of Cindy this week, then that's okay. Pop in during the week, right? Melvin's here too. Where? I didn't see Melvin. Oh, there you are. Melvin's in Alberta. Yay. I moved to Edmonton with my husband. Actually, I didn't move with my husband. I moved after my husband. My husband was a Patricia in the Canadian Armed Forces, and he was what he called relieved of his services, and he decided to come through the back door, and he re-enlisted, and he got into the first in Edmonton, and so he got to Edmonton, and he arranged for a house, and he got us all set up, and I was supposed to be here on base, and I was closing up our house, and right, I also had to give notice. There was lots of things to tie up, and it was a big move, right? Another move in my life, and I was moving to another province, and I really enjoyed my time in Edmonton. I thought Alberta was absolutely beautiful. I thought it was very clean. That's what I thought about Alberta, was how clean it was, how fresh it was. Right? Here in Manitoba, I'm all about people. We have some amazing people. If you ever have an opportunity to come to Manitoba, right, get to know the people, because you just might not want to leave. Yeah, 100%. I felt welcomed here in this province from the moment I stood foot on the ground, and I'm not even joking about that from day one. Cindy O'Clock. I love that. Oh, Melvin saying he's watching the original Jaws. You guys, I could have been a competitive swimmer. When I was 3 years old, I was high diving and swimming, and I loved being in the water, and I was really good at it. By the time I was 12 years old, I started gaining some weight, became a little bit self-conscious. Maybe it was the puberty. And I became self-conscious about what I looked like in a bathing suit. And all it took was one fatso. And, swimming, right, was done for me competitively. But I still loved swimming. And so we used to go to Second Beach, that's in Vancouver. We'd go to Second Beach. We'd spend all day there at Second Beach, and we'd swim all the way out to the barges, right? We loved being out there. On occasion, somebody would come by with a speedboat thinking we were drowning or something. But, I loved the water, and I spent so much time in the ocean. And then that movie Jaws came out. I never, and this is the truth, I never went into the ocean to gain higher than my knees. That movie terrified me, and it triggered, I think, a very ancient memory in me, right? Maybe to the point of when I was a sea creature and I was struggling to be an amphibian, breathing air, right? And in that transition of being washed up to the shore and dying from not being in the ocean, right? Then that consistently happening until finally, I don't know, I popped lungs and the gills disappeared, and right? This is the way my brain works when I go back that way, because it's in the way I feel, the way things resonate with me. I feel that ancient in me sometimes. And that's going back a ways. That's going back as old as my crystals that I dig up, that I'm going to be digging up. Oh my goodness, right? I'm trying to keep myself occupied and busy, but right? This is an important trip. All it would take is to have a flat tire, a breakdown, right? And my itinerary would be blowing right out of the water, and I would probably have to spend 24 hours driving just to catch up to my itinerary 100%. And it would probably mess up on some of those days, some of those sights, and some of those experiences that I want to have. But I'm up for whatever hits me, you guys. It's in the experience. I have those 2 weeks off no matter what. I have a vehicle for 2 weeks no matter what. I booked all those campsites. I'm sure I'll make it to one or two of them in my holiday. And if I have to pay out again, I'll pay out again. And if I have to pull over to a side road or a back alley or something, I'll do that too, right? Nothing. I've been waiting for this all year. I'm not going to lift up this bin, you guys, only because I've got it full of stuff. But I'll just show you the price tag. I paid $5. It's a nice big bin here that I'm taking on my trip. I'll be switching out probably the garage, and I'll use that smaller bin probably for my kitchen, and then I'll use my kitchen bin maybe in the front seat of the vehicle. I do have another bin that's really in the front seat of my vehicle, but that one might be more efficient for me, and then I'll just leave one. I don't know, right? I got the bin, I'm going to use it, and right, we're working at it. Next week, I'm starting the cleaning. Already, I've started like the cleaning, like washing the fridge out and stuff. I want to make sure that I come home that everything is right. I want to walk in the door and go, I'm home. Have my shower, right? Go to sleep, snuggle with my cat, who's going to really, really miss me. She might not even know me. She might be really ticked off with me, right? I don't know. She might fall in love with my sister Alice, right? You never know. But we'll deal with it when we have to deal with it. I don't know if you guys recognize this design on this dress. I don't know if it's worth mentioning if you guys find this interesting. But this is a 1950s Honolulu muumuu dress. You might have seen your mom wear these dresses in the 50s. I think they were like tourist outfits that they got tiki cups and pineapples and all kinds of stuff on them. But I bought this because these go for a lot of money on eBay, like a couple $100. And it was such good quality, and the cotton is like it was. You could tell that it's been worn, but it's such good quality that I decided, right? I think I'd like to wear this, and I wore it, and I fell in love with it, and it's my favorite house dress. It's my favorite house dress, and it's super comfortable. But it's almost 75 years old. It's a 75-year-old dress. Oh my goodness. Okay, I got this. I don't need a coat for my trip. I've got lots of coat. But when I see a coat that screams Cindy, and correct me if you don't see it screams Cindy, I had no choice because it's a Cindy jacket, you guys, right? it looks kind of black and red there, but it's actually very brown. It's a brown jacket. I don't know what's going on with my color, but this is a dark brown, and then, or a light brown, and these are dark browns here, but they look black. They look black in my camera. Oh well, it is what it is. So I got a jacket. I'll take it on my trip. That was one thing I did take note of last year on my trip, was that I didn't have proper outerwear, because when I left here from Winnipeg, it was in its 30s. It was super hot, right? And by the time I got up into the mountains, it was pretty chilly. And pretty much all I took was a sweater and a rain jacket. Oh no, I didn't. I did take a jacket. I do remember. I had my blue jacket with the quilt lining. It was really nice. I enjoyed it. Okay, you guys. I just got this nice little container. It's got trees. You guys know I like trees, and I don't have a good container for all my electrical wires and USB cables and stuff. So I thought this would be a good one just to sit right here on my office shelf, because it's clean. It matches my decor. It was probably, the main reason was it was $1.50 plus a staff discount. It cost me 90 cents. It's a good one. It's a good one too, you guys, right? It's a good one. It looks like leather, but it's not. Okay, I'm going to use the cat stool, put some stuff up. I bought this for my camping trip, you guys, for my muffins. I don't need a big muffin pan. In fact, I don't need big muffins, right? But when I do go camping, right, part of the way of staying regular, right, is to make sure that you're taking in the bran or the oats, right, that you're eating vegetables and you're drinking lots of fluid. I've already started my regime, so to get ready, I want to do better by myself this year than I did last year, though you wouldn't know it for the way I slept last night. I slept till 11 o'clock this morning. The alarm went off at 7. I've not slept till 11 o'clock in the morning in 6 years, maybe. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. But I must have needed that rest. And at the same time, I have to say, I sat here at the desk and there was a lot of stuff going on that benefited my movement in my day, my movement in my trip, and the movement. Remember what I said, that I was writing this down, and oh my goodness, this is for something for me to move with when I come back from my trip. Having that direction, having that, right, moving right into that action of something else. Well, I'm still, right, doing the side branch, but as you move forward, you got to learn to multitask. And I think I'm a pretty good multitasker. I don't do it intentionally. It happens by itself, where I end up with a lot of projects. As soon as I notice it's kind of an OCD thing, or not an OCD thing. It's a ADHD thing, right? It's a, you get easily distracted, and then you end up, right, doing something else and having projects. I'm not like that at work all the time, where I have like 4 or 5 projects. But then, right, because I have so many projects, and because of the way I treat myself or talk to myself, if I don't do a good job, the projects that I start, I have to complete them. That's just the way I am. And I always manage, right? If I overextend myself somehow, I always manage to fulfill whatever commitment that I've made in the moment. But I am notorious to have many projects going on at the same time. But sometimes that's a good trait. That's a talent to some people, to be able to multitask like that, right? That's for my hypervigilance and my ADHD. They're not always bad attributes, 100%. Yeah. So I got a little muffin pan. I'm gonna wash that, and I'm gonna put it in my kitchen, right? And I'll have muffins. Okay. What do I got in here, you guys? Oh, I got a new coffee mug for my trip. Brand new. It had a $2.50 said price tag. 3 of them came in. So I bought one because it's magnificent. Look how huge that is. That's 12 inches. That's a 12-inch. And because it's nicely formed, that'll sit nicely in the cup holder in the vehicle. And yes, it's dual. So if I stop and, get a soft drink or something, I can have it put into the soft drink container at the same time. And when I check the prices on these, you guys, $75. That's Canadian, right? That's really, that's US, which would make it close to $100 Canadian. And they were brand new. Owala, they're called. Right? That's a whole day's wage for me. I would never, ever in a million years work an entire day just to accomplish a coffee mug. It seems kind of ridiculous, but it seems kind of amazing that I got it for $2.50. But plus the staff discount? Oh, no staff discount on this one. It was full price. Okay, you guys. I'm sure she's not watching, but I bought my sister, because I do her stockings for her yesterday, and we got these really pretty white slippers, white and beige slippers, and they're really soft, and they're her kind of slippers. So I thought I'd buy them for her stocking, right? So yeah, she'll appreciate those. Yeah, she'll appreciate those. I got that for my sister. Okay. I got this coffee mug here. It's a HomeSense coffee mug. I got it for 75 cents with my staff discount, and it says, "Our unity is our strength, and our diversity is our power." And that is by Kamala Harris, this quote. But it was a pretty color. It was 75 cents. It was new with tags. Christmas stocking taken care of, right? This is what I'm thinking. I'm getting ready to do my Christmas shopping. Everybody gets thrifted, but everybody gets brand new or brand new condition at the very least, unless it's an antique. And I don't know a lot of people besides my sister Alice, besides me, who likes the antique. So normally it's just brand new with tags. And as they come across my path, I'll pick them up and we'll see how much money, I'll leave the tag on this, how much money I saved in getting presents for 14 people. That's how many people that I have in my family, including my nieces, my nephew, and my great niece. So yeah, we'll see how well Cindy does. I think I spent about $32 last year. Had to buy this. I don't think I need to explain why I had to buy this. If you don't know why I had to buy this, just ask, because I am happy to explain again. This cost me 50 cents, and with 15 cents off, it cost me 35 cents. You guys, it's a pink ice donut with sprinkles. Look at that. Is that just like the most adorable thing you've ever seen? And you guys, if you hang out with me on my other lives, right, I talk about the pink ice donuts with sprinkles all the time, right? It is one of those coping mechanisms for myself. It's not literally like I go crazy or anything. I use it as an analogy, because pink ice donuts with sprinkles are quite yummy looking, aren't they? Yeah, so so the donut for my Christmas tree, but it won't be just a Christmas tree ornament, because it's part of my brand. It's part of my story now, the pink ice donuts with the sprinkles. So it'll just stay at my desk or just dangle off of something, right? Just as a reminder for myself. Actually, I have a little clippy on this lamp here. I'm trying to give myself a little bit more light, right? Because I'm getting used to this new camera and I'm having a hard time getting it set properly for lighting. But that's part of the process too, isn't it? Okay, you guys. Talk about new with tags. This sweater came in and it was so pretty. I thought it was very pretty. And now's the time to be looking for the winter gear, the winter clothes. And I can't say no to a beautiful. I love cowl necks and turtlenecks, and it was brand new with tags, right? But I didn't buy it for anybody except for myself. With my staff discount, this cost me $4.75, right? So I'm very grateful for my new winter sweater. We're just going to throw it over here, and I'm just going to pop into the comments and see what you guys are saying as I take a sip of my coffee. Andrew says, I saw Jaws in the theater. Talk about screaming, and that was the audience. I remember Rona Barrett, the Hollywood gossip columnist, calling Jaws the ultimate horror movie. Yeah, it was a pretty scary movie. To be honest, I have to say. How old was I when I saw Jaws? I think I was about 12 years old when I saw Jaws, and it did impact me and impacted me my entire life, right? Possibly to the point where I didn't get the gold medal in the Olympics for the breaststroke. I was too ADHD to have held on to that dream in any case, right? I'm getting much better at it now, but I do quite often still find myself with lots of things going on at the same time. It's why I believe that I'm a better shiner, that I'm better at shining on others rather than shining on myself. It's because I do get distracted that way, and then I overwhelm myself with how much I've taken on. But then again, I have to say I'm very proud of myself when whatever I've taken on I accomplish, because that's the person that I am, that I always make sure that whatever I've committed to, that I complete. And yeah, so it's kind of a gift and a curse at the same time, right? I think probably it's equally beneficial, right, to me. Okay. Um, Andrew says, I love to read, but I am a slow reader. When I read the novel Jaws, I read the whole book in one day. Really? Oh my goodness. It takes me quite a while. I like to enjoy the books. I like to get involved in the characters. I pick my favorite characters. I delve into the personality in how it's being divvied out by the author. In my imaginations, I see structures and furniture and the time and season of history that it takes place in. I do a little bit of foreshadowing in how the story plays out, right, and the message in it. Yeah, I take my time when it comes to reading book. I haven't read a book since I read David Suzuki's biography last summer. I took camping. I do have my book. Do I have it out? No, I think I packed it away. This year, I've taken a progression book, an actual. It's not a textbook, but it's more analytical rather than storytelling. It's mindset, and it's looking, about making those leaps and bounds in where you are now or where you used to be, right? And how to manage it and better direct it, because, right, if you're good at what you do, you should be able to direct quite well in what you're doing. And that's why I'm confident in working with the cards, right? That now going to figure out how to get manufactured, and then also at the same time, right, move forward in some of those other goals, couple of them that were on my list to get accomplished this year that I failed in, and I'll find myself at ground zero again, doing it again. But I think possibly with the lessons that I picked up along the way, even though I failed, I picked up a few lessons that I'll do much better next year in what I didn't accomplish. And I'm confident in that, right? Just going to keep moving forward. Okay, we're all completed there. On to the next item. And the next thing I got, this was really nice. I didn't really need it, but it's the perfect size coffee mug for me without it being too heavy. And when I saw it, I went, "Oh my goodness, my live shows in the winter with me, with my bear cup, with my plaid hoodie, and right, this is the way I'm thinking." And I thought, "Oh, what a nice big cup of coffee. I really like that mug." And then what happens? I look at it and go, "You can come home with me." I talk to the items I bring home. I just look at them and I go, "You can come home with me. You're amazing. You can come home with me." I almost came home with two hand carved wood bears. Oh, they were so adorable. They sat in between. They were kind of like, steps, big one and a smaller one. There were only two of them, but there was a big one and a smaller one. I think it was like a daddy bear and his son, little bear, and they were sitting there. And I thought, "Oh my goodness, I need this." And I think, "Cindy, you can't buy anything. You're going on a trip in 2 weeks, right? You can do it." Give myself a little pep talk and put it back on the shelf. That's exactly what I did. I didn't do it with any of this stuff, you guys, because I didn't need this beautiful top. Oh my goodness. It's so soft and luxurious. It's so, oh, I love it. And what happened? It came home with me. It came home with me. But I love it, and I can't wait to wear it. I'm going to wear it to work. I think next Saturday. I'm going to wear it to work next Saturday. I know the perfect pants for this top too. It's going to look amazing. So I don't regret buying it unless it doesn't look good on me. And I don't know because I didn't try it on. And I guess I could have tried it on working there, that I could have taken a couple of minutes after work just to scoot it over my clothes just to see if it fit well. But for the few dollars it cost me, it wasn't worth it. Okay, you guys, I just got a pair of socks. I didn't buy these socks for me. I actually bought them for one of my customer who's absolutely in love with this. I'm not quite sure. It's some brand, some famous brand. Mike Jordan, right? And he really loves this brand. And I saw this pair of socks and they were in brand new condition. And I thought, "Oh, he'll like those for 50 cents. I won't even charge him." So I just bought them for him, right? So, but I didn't realize that it was in the bin. So it made it home to me. I'll take it back to work and he'll pop into the store next week and right, it's nothing. It's just a thoughtfulness, right? It's just, right, it's enough just to make them smile, knowing that somebody thought of them, right? It wasn't meant to go, "Wow, I really needed to have that pair of socks," right? It was nothing like that. It was just, right, it's just that appreciation for the people that you have in your life, right? Mm, good cup of coffee. Hello, Nancy. Nancy is deep into her project. You guys know that I buy candles on occasion, and I went to put this on the shelf when the cart was ready. It was only 75 cents, but it was the most beautiful, very addictive too. the smell, the scents, like it's a scented, it's not a normal, right, Body Works kind of candle. It's got a more Asian, more ancient, more ritualistic kind of smell to it. It smells quite amazing. You see, it's just a coiled snake, but it's a candle. And I got it for 75 cents. Can't stop smelling it. And I think that's what got me. No, I don't smell it on my hands. I think that's what got me was the amazing smell of this candle. I do buy candles on occasion, but it takes me a long time to use up a candle. I've got a whole great big box of brand new candles. And I said, Cindy, stop buying those candles just because they're a good price and they're brand new. Don't buy them because you're not using them. The candles I have on my kitchen counter, they've been sitting there for a year, you guys. It takes me over a year to use a candle, and I probably have 30 candles in that box. Yeah. Give them to my sister. She'll figure out how to get rid of them. I have a Keurig machine, and these came into the store. They're little Keurig cups, and it makes it so that you can put your own favorite coffee. I like the Keurigs. I like the pre-filled cups that you buy, but sometimes they can be inexpensive, and sometimes if your favorite coffee is on sale, then it makes sense just to buy the refilter cups and just put your own favorite coffee in them and just use those in your Keurig machine. And right, these two boxes showed up. This one's got two of them in them, and this one's got one. So now I got 3 extra ones, and I probably have five already. But right, just like you have 10 coffee cups, you just rinse them and always have them clean and on. And you never know when you have a guest walk into the store. I got this book here. It's called Making Our Ceilings the Floors of the Next Generation. It's right, and it's so true, right? The things that we were capable of are just the floor of the next generation rising. That's where they're going to start, at our ceilings. And I thought, wow, I bet you that will be an interesting read. I'm going to have to take a look at the book that I chose to take with me, because I think this would be a good option for read also on my trip. But we'll see. I can't even remember the title of the book that I put away for my trip, so I'll take another second look, and maybe we'll switch it out in that. Nancy, are you still here? She may be here, she may not. It doesn't really matter. These things are expensive, and these things came through the store. And Nancy is a YouTuber also, and I know these are quite expensive. I can't tell what the design is, but Nancy, I got you a diamond art. I can't tell what the picture is, though. I can't tell what the picture is. You won't get it till Christmas time, but can you tell what the picture is? I'll just look with my magnifier. I think it's a bird. Oh, it's a bird with ice and trees and a lake or something. I'm not quite sure. I think it's birds. Yeah, so that'll go in your Christmas hamper, Nancy. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool, because these things, right, when you have to buy them at the store, they're quite pricey. So when they come through our store and they're brand new, well, it was a no-brainer, because I know Nancy likes to do the YouTube videos and her progression of this artwork that she does. So I hope she has fun with it. Okay, what else do I have here? Oh, you guys know I collect tiles. Look at this tile, you guys. Wow. I thought that was pretty pretty majestic. It's not signed. They usually, if they're made in another country, like made in Italy or something, this one is, I think, plaster Paris, and then somebody did a black wash over the Paris, and it turned out very, very well, right? So I was really pleased to get this one for $1. It cost me $1, you guys. Oh my goodness. I got a little bit of jewelry here. I buy the brooches. I collect the brooches. And these came in as a pair, and they were two little birds. And I thought they were kind of nice. Might use them as hat pins or something. I didn't see a mark on them whether or not they were silver. I may check later because looking at them now, and the second one is exactly the same as the first one. You can see it's exactly the same as the first one, but it does look like silver. That might have been the reason why I grabbed it. But I collect brooches anyway, so I would have grabbed it anyway. This one's really cute. This one's actually a brooch too, but this one is a painted leaf. Isn't that cute? It's just a leaf, and it's painted, and it's made of wood. So I got those my earring board. I keep all the earrings on the quilted board, and then the frame, which is also quilted, that's where I stick all my brooches all the way around. I have quite a lovely collection of brooches. I usually buy these, in my mind, I think I'm saving them, right? These crystals that end up on a chain, and there's two stones on it. It looks like there's a quartz crystal. It's clear, and then there's a little piece of some kind of blue citrine or something like that, right? It's a yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the blue stone is. Maybe it's a smoky quartz. I'm not quite sure. It seems kind of blue to be a smoky quartz, but I'm looking at it now, and they did a lot of welding on this one, so I don't know how easy it would be to dislodge them, wash them, and add them to my crystal collection. But I may throw them in a jar once they've been washed and sat in the sun for a couple of days. I usually, like I said, in my mind, I think it's a rescue mission when I see these crystals on these chains, right? The artists like to do, entrepreneurs and making money, putting a roof over your head, and but it's only in my passion for these crystals and these rocks that make it a little bit uncomfortable for me to see them in this state, right? I myself would never wear a crystal necklace, right? I usually just put them in bowls and on trays and stuff, and just let their energy enmesh my entire apartment. Yeah. I like the crystals, right? I plan my whole holiday around the crystals and the rock hounding. If I miss one day, like the whole itinerary is blown for sure. I left a couple of days there kind of loose in the anticipation that there might be an opportunity to have interactions with people I know in the Toronto area, right? But things come across my path is what I work with, and if things don't work out the way that I'd like them to work out, I just trust there was a reason for that, and something better will come along my path, or maybe that same thing will play out a little bit differently, right? Play out a little bit differently and happen the way that I would like anyway, right? Okay, you guys, we're almost finished here. I've got the orange and blue kitchen going on. I haven't had an orange or blue kitchen item for quite a while. The last one I had was a blue mixing bowl that I did. And if you guys are hanging out with me, I'm getting ready. You can see a little bit of orange in my kitchen area. You're looking at my kitchen area in the background behind my big mess of Rubbermaid containers, right? But I found this, and I thought this might be really good for possibly my tea bags, right? One of my plans for this year is to move and finally get that kitchen. It's in the plans. It's not in the workings, but it is in the plans. It's written down. That action was right in that commitment to doing what I set out that I'm going to do. Amongst all the other plans that I've got in place, if I take it on and I commit to it, it's just got to happen, right? But it doesn't, I'm not going to beat myself up because, like I said, there were 2 goals that I put on my list for last year that I didn't accomplish this year, right? And I suspect I'll do a little bit better this year, right? I trust in me. Okay, I found these, you guys. I couldn't resist. You know, I'm a sucker for the wood, especially the things that people do themselves, right? And I thought these were lovely. They only cost me 75 cents each. Somebody crafted those, right? So I thought, right, that's the least I could do was appreciate them. I have to paint the frames because, right, the frames are white or cream color in my house, but I think they'll fit very well on my nature wall over here. You only see one wall. This wall is totally different than that wall. This is my earth wall. This is Mother Nature. This is Mother Nature too, but this is more of a, I don't know, it's more of a, they're both nature, but they have a totally different tone to them. Maybe it's the crystals, but I have crystals over there too, right? Maybe because there's conversations here, but I have conversation pieces, even better conversation pieces on this wall too. Maybe it's in the artistry, but then again, I've got all these folk art and wood carvings and stone carvings and earthenware pieces. I don't know. It just feels a little bit different. It feels a lot different. It doesn't even feel the same to me. But yet, when I think about it, it's Mother Nature. they're both Mother Nature. I guess I grew into that without even noticing. I only have a couple more items here, people, in this small staff charge. This only cost me 50 cents. It's just a sharp knife. I need a good onion knife for when I'm cutting the onions. I don't need a great big chef's knife. I just need something small. And this seemed like, right, we'll give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, I'll just put it in a donation bag and it goes back to work as a donation. Last thing I have to show you is just a little, right? It's just a little tank top that I got for next summer, and yeah, I like it. I like my staff charges. I like that I was a little bit more pickier. That's a good word. More selective in what I was grabbing this payroll only because of my big trip coming up. I'm super excited. I'm almost super ready. If you said, Cindy, you have 24 hours, you're hitting the road, make a couple phone calls. I'd probably be able to make it, right, in that. But, we're still 16 days away, 15 days away now from being on the road. You guys, you'll see me next week on Sunday night. But the night before I leave, I am going to be hard at work in the cleaning and the packing. So as of the 15th, I won't be on YouTube at all. In fact, the 14th will probably be the last time I post on YouTube until I get back on the 31st. So you guys will be missing me for 3 weeks, I think. I do believe it'll be 3 weeks that I won't be live. I will be posting occasionally on Instagram. I may or may not, depending on how well I'm doing, right? Because this is going to show how well I planned, how well I made sure that everything was going to easily click into place with minimal hiccups on this holiday. That I was able to have an amazing time with beautiful landscapes, beautiful experiences, make a little bit of movement for myself, and at the same time have content to come back. And again, in that movement, having something to jump into as soon as you have that release of achieving your goal, that right away you're working on the next thing, right? So that I don't have time to have that bit of a crash that we quite often have when we finish accomplishing what we need to accomplish, right? Um, yeah, I am begged, but at the same time, I am well rested. I cranked at somebody in the laundry room today. It's not my nature to do those kind of things. And just before I went live too, and I was feeling a little bit bad about it. Somebody was tag teaming. I was down there waiting for a washing machine, and two people, one person came in with some laundry and the other person came in to take their clothes out of the washing machine and put it in the dryer, and she was guarding that washing machine like it was Taylor Swift, and I couldn't maneuver if I was a basketball player in a position to get that washing machine, and she just gave it to her friend. And I just looked at her and I said, "Are you kidding me? I'm sitting here waiting for a washing machine. You're really going to be that person?" I said that. Oh, instantly when I said it, I didn't regret it, but I caught myself and I took note that I was agitated by that and that I had slipped up on myself because of somebody else's uh, action, right? And I responded to it, and I was not happy. I took my granny wagon and laundry, and I hauled out that door, and I came upstairs. As soon as I got into the elevator, that guilt and shame came to the surface. And right away I said, "Well, Cindy, right? Then you're okay not to turn the other cheek on that. That was pretty rude." But then I said to myself, "Cindy, you're in this building that are full of people like that, right? That's on you for reacting to something that you already know and to expect to happen in a I don't live in a bad apartment, but I do understand that there are people who are unique in their voice and in the way that they think and the way that they express themselves, right? So I asked for it. But I didn't receive it. I just threw it right back. Right? You really going to be that person? Are you really that person? Little old lady, I'm saying this to. Really? You're that person? And maybe it was just that surprise that she did that move. And the only move she did after I said that, she just kind of went, and it kind of triggered me again. But then by that time I had already caught myself and I was trying to bring myself back to that Zen kind of state. And I just kind of looked at her and I just, oh, really? Oh my goodness. But I came into my life and I'm laughing. I'm laughing about it now. And it also reminds me I'm not perfect. And at the same time, I think I took that woman by surprise because she probably thought that I was just going to take it, right? And she'll think twice again when her friend phones her and says, "I'm going down to switch my laundry. follow behind me so you can have my washer. Because that's exactly what happened. And the next time that woman says, follow behind me, I'm putting my clothes in the dryer, you can have my washer, she'll say, no, I'll just catch it next time. Right? It's not worth the trouble, right? I just thought I'd express that, because it is in the lessons that come across our past that we can recognize that we're not always the people that we portray ourselves to be, that sometimes we slip up and the real true self comes to the surface, right? And I was not happy that I was standing there all that time waiting for a washer just to have it stolen from me. Next time I'll expect it for sure. Jewelry, it's not going to be jewelry when I'm done with it, Andrew, because I'm going to be taking my tweezers. I'm going to try and get that metal off. For sure, right in this moment, that's how easily I got the chain off. But what I want to do is I need to get the loop off, and I need to get that steel cap off, and I need to, oh, look at this, how soft and cheap this is made. Look at, I got the little quartz crystal. I got that off already. It just peeled off like it was an orange skin. Oh my goodness. Whoa, yeah, I just peeled it. It was just like gold painted tin foil. So I'm gonna have no problem getting that back to the state of its naturalness, I hope. Right? I suspect that it's done being a ornament around somebody's neck, that it can go back to being a crystal, to what it was always meant to be since the beginning. Oh, that's okay. I didn't lose it. It fell right into my little garbage basket here. Yeah, that candle. It's really neat. I can't describe it. It's between rubber tires and a Chinese incense store. Combination of those two. Maybe I'll burn it just to see if I actually enjoy it, right? These candles I buy, I can't just buy them because they're cheap and they haven't been used yet. I've got to use them. Coffee mug is great. One of my customers, the gentleman that I got the red socks for, um, he bought me a bubble mug. He's a thrifter. He hits all the thrift stores and stuff. He's a reseller. He buys things and he sells things. And he knew I loved the bubble mug, and he knew I broke my handle on my last bubble mug. And he bought me a bubble mug, but it had a great big base on it, one that you can't fit into the coffee mug holder, right? I took it because it's great for Slurpees. If I should need a Slurpee or something at some point, that I'll have a bubble mug because I am a fan of the bubble mugs. But this summer he found me. Well, before summer he actually found me a new bubble mug in a beautiful color, purple, and it had the right base on it for the cup holder, and I was so excited, so excited. And again, it might not be a big thing. He might have only paid $2 for it, right? But it was because he thought of me, right? It was because of that kindness, that when he was there, he goes, oh my goodness, Cindy loves Bubba Mug. Won't she freak out? Won't she be happy if she got this coffee mug? And I told him too, I'm not using this mug until I leave for my trip. And I kept my word. I washed it. I put it in the cupboard. Last week I took it out and I added it to not my kitchen gear, but I added it to my front seat bin because it's specifically for the road. Now I have two good coffee mugs here. I don't suspect I'll have Slurpees. I don't usually have Slurpees when I'm on my trips, right? But it is a dual one because you close the hole on the top and it now becomes a sipper for your coffee. So yeah, I thought that was pretty nice. But $75. I would never spend $75, $100 for one of these things. I mean, it looks like quality. The The color is amazing. It's actually blue, but it looks gray in that picture. But yeah, it's mine. It's mine now. But no show and tell next payday. And in fact, there's no live show at all that day. And I do believe that I'm leaving on the 16th. That's Monday, 15th. So Sunday, the 14th, if you want to mark it on your calendar, I won't be here. If you want to come in and watch an adventure video or watch last year's Ontario tour, right? That was a good tour. Like, go and watch those ones so you kind of have an idea of what I do on these trips, and at the same time, right, anticipate it's going to be a little bit different because I'm a little bit braver, a little bit more ambitious, and a little bit more on top of it this year. And I hope you guys let me know if I succeeded in doing a little bit better than last year. I'll be rusty in the video editing. But remember, I procrastinated last year. This year, I'm committing to start working on my first video, right? Give myself 2 days of rest. I'll be back at work, and then on my next set of days off, we work on a video, and we'll start cranking those out every week. And that should be enough content for, I would say, a couple of months, you guys, if I do 1 or 2 videos every week. Because that's right. I have each day will be a video, so there's 14 days there. And then also there are added little adventures and side road attractions that I'll be, right, doing and filming at the same time. I'm sure I'll be doing, because there's a lot of driving, I'm sure there'll be a lot of those vlogs. So even though I'm not going live, maybe I could write all those words down and just, right, pick from the 54 words, and we could just have conversations in my drive as I'm looking at beautiful landscapes, in driving my beautiful vehicle, which I am pretty excited to see if I am getting the Wagoneer. That'd be pretty cool if it was, because I remember last year that I said, "Oh, next year, wouldn't it be cool if I got the Wagoneer?" And then when I went to reserve my car, he said it's probably going to be like the Wagoneer. It's kind of saying it's going to be the Wagoneer. But I'm good with the Wagoneer. I'm good with the Wagoneer. It's going to be a great trip. You guys, that's got to be it for tonight. I am toast. And yet I didn't get up till 11 o'clock this morning. Like I said, it's the first time in 6 years that I have slept that late. But I understand that if I slept that late and I actually slept, then it was something for me to do. Like it was meant to happen. Like I needed that extra rest for sure. And yeah, and if tomorrow I sleep to 11, sleep to 11 because it's Labor Day tomorrow. It's officially a holiday. Tonight I had to make a note to myself saying, "Don't forget your live, Cindy. It's not Monday, it's Sunday. You're going live tonight," because the last time I got my stat day off on a Sunday, I just took it as a day off and almost forgot my live show. Everybody, that's going to be it for tonight. Have a great night. Thank you for all the hearts. Thank you for popping in, everybody. See you next week. If you want to come and hang out with me during the week on What's My Good Cheer, I will be popping in periodically, possibly just picking a powerful word that we've already done. I've got 10 words that I've still got to bring insights to for my cards, and then that's complete. I'll have that as I'm sitting looking at a beautiful landscape or at a river. I'm sure I'll be inspired. Right? The first 40 only took me, maybe 2 hours to complete. I was in such a flow. So I suspect doing 10 won't be that difficult, especially when I'm inspired by what I'm experiencing. Everybody, have a great night. I'll see you next time.